From Baylor to St. Bonaventure, Georgia to Colorado, college sports programs have been riddled by scandal over the past year. We'll look at the serious problems. We'll also look at what a school can do to recover.
And we'll meet two of the world's best gymnasts, world champion Paul Hamm and his twin brother Morgan.
You all know actor Bill Murray from his roles in Stripes, Caddyshack, and his Academy Award performance in Lost in Translation. On this Oscar weekend, we'll show you a different Bill Murray. Cold Pizza starts right now.
And there's a pretty picture to start your Friday morning. Welcome to Cold Pizza. Today is Friday, February 27th. My name is Jay Crawford here in New York City with Thea Andrews sitting in for Kit Hoover, who has the day off. And happy St. Patrick's Day, Thea.
It's today?
St.
Patrick's Day?
Oh, no, you know what? I'm
so.
a couple weeks early. I don't know how this happened, but, you know, I feel festive and green today, I guess.
I actually thought maybe it was for a moment because we have green cupcakes in the makeup room. I thought maybe I missed, but there's a big parade, so we would know in New York if it was St. Patrick's
Speaking of parade, our show today basically is going to be a huge circus, and you'll get the theme as we move along. Let's say good morning and hello to our studio audience today. They are from Palm Beach Gardens High School. Wow. There they are. Look at them waving. You know, we keep them on the other side of the glass. You never know what's going to happen here on Cold Pizza. So, hello and welcome from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. That's my own neck of the woods, you know.
Is it really?
Florida.
Tampa.
Yeah, you know, I mean, other side of the state, but that's okay. A lot going on today. In a few minutes, we're going to talk to a clown. Man, I said it's going to be kind of a circus atmosphere. We're going to have a clown in today. Talk about the Yankees.
A clown to talk about the Yankees. Okay,
Stand by.
That sounds good.
Yeah, you'll see.
In a couple of minutes, we're also going to examine the recent scandals in college sports. And as Jay says, we're off to join the circus, the Yankee circus.
Yeah, it's going to be nutty. Also coming up on the last Cold Pizza of the week, we'll preview Sunday's Academy Awards with Entertainment Weekly's Peter Bonventry, also Dr. Dre, and our movie team, Monty Toomer, will give you their own awards. It'll be the first annual Pizza Guys. Not quite as prestigious as the Oscars, but, you know, we're only in our first year.
I'm
Give us
excited
time.
about that because if you have an Oscars pool that you want to get some, know what they pick. You know, I'm sure whatever they pick is what's going to win.
We hope so, anyhow. All right, that's all coming up later. But first, here's what's happened. Hey, here's what happened while you were sleeping. We start in the NBA. It's probably the league's hottest rivalry over the past couple of years. The Kings traveling south from Sacramento to visit the Los Angeles Lakers. Fourth quarter, tied at 85. Vlade Divac is going to kick it out to Peja Stojakovic. This guy's been red hot lately. Nails the three from the corner. Kings lead by 3. Later in the fourth, Lakers down by 2. When in doubt, what do? Well, you go inside to Shaq. Tough to stop. Tied at 94. Less than 2 minutes to play now. Kings back in front by 2. Mike Bibby off the Vlade Divac screen. Drills the three-pointer. Kings by 5. Bibby loving it. Same score. Kobe Bryant nails a 3 of his own in the face of Doug Christie, and it's a 2-point game. Less than 10 ticks to play now. Kobe Bryant wants the 3 and the win. He got a good look, but it's off the front of the rim. The Kings win at 103-101 the final. Peja Stojakovic, 37 points and 9 rebounds as the Kings won their 4th straight game. They now have the NBA's best record. They are 42-14.
Also, while you were sleeping, Mel Gibson was a guest on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. He spoke about the making of his movie, The Passion of the Christ, and the poor assistant director who was hit not once, but twice by lightning during the making of the film.
After Lightning Boy got hit the second time, he was down in a car, and I saw him just after you know what he was doing? He was doing this. And he was looking really uncomfortable, like waiting for number 3.
Hey, maybe it's good luck. Who knows? Okay, now it's time to go over to Jay for this morning's top story.
All right, thank you, Thea. New charges in the scandal at Baylor University are just the most recent reminder of the serious problems involving college athletic programs. At Baylor, one basketball player is accused of killing a teammate, and the head coach was caught on video hatching a plan to cover it up.
Now, Dave Bliss is accused of paying players and covering up positive drug tests.
The former head men's basketball coach obviously failed to adequately supervise his staff and then actively participated in numerous major infractions.
But misery loves company. And at Colorado, one former football player claims she was raped by another player, and the coach has been put on administrative leave pending the school's investigation. From St. Bonaventure, where the school president lost his job along with the AD and the coach for admitting a junior college transfer on a welding certificate, to St. John's, where 6 players were caught in a sex scandal. From Iowa State to Miami, to Ohio State to Georgia, college sports are in crisis. The NCAA tournament and the BCS championship are bigger than ever. So are the scandals that go with the games.
All right, and joining us now from Texas, the athletic director who took over this year in the wake of the scandal, Ian McCaw. Ian, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jay.
Ian, let me start by getting your reaction. What would you say about former coach Dave Bliss and what he did to the Baylor program?
Well, certainly the actions of the former men's basketball staff are most disappointing. It's really been a difficult year, as you mentioned, in college athletics. But yesterday was really, I think, a day for Baylor to shine and demonstrate its integrity by announcing the violations, self-imposing sanctions, and identifying corrective measures to take to make sure nothing like this can ever happen again.
Ian, certainly there were signs that someone else at the university could have and probably should have seen. What red flags were missed by the school?
Well, I think there were several, and it's really important to have a complete compliance program. And some of the things that we've identified that need to be done are expanding the compliance staff to ensure that we've changed the drug testing protocol because there were some misses there, and just to make sure that we have a culture of compliance where everybody is really holding themselves to a high level of integrity.
How much thought was there, Ian, to shutting the program down for a year?
I don't think that was considered because I think people wanted to deal with the problem and solve it as opposed to walk away from the problem. And I think that was the correct decision by the administration.
What steps has the university taken to come back from this tough time?
Well, as I mentioned, we've expanded our compliance staff to 3 full-time people. We've implemented a series of other improvements. We're going to increase our rules education to make sure that our student athletes, our coaches, and our boosters better understand NCAA rules. We've changed our drug testing protocol, so all drug testing is handled outside of the athletic department. And we've also asked the Big 12 Conference to come in and conduct a compliance audit to make sure we're doing all the right things here at Baylor.
Obviously, now you want to keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on. What orders or advice have you given to Coach Drew about how the program needs to be run in the future?
Jay, the most important thing is we have a real high-integrity individual leading our men's basketball program. He's exhibited great leadership and great integrity. It all starts with him. And I just have great confidence that he's going to do the right thing, but we're also going to give him the support and the infrastructure to make sure, again, we don't have any mistakes made.
How long will it take to get the program back where it needs to be?
Well, he's done a remarkable job. No one thought we were going to win a Big 12 game this year with just the few number of players we have on scholarship this year, and he surprised everyone winning 3 Big 12 games to date. He's doing a tremendous job recruiting. Our recruiting class for next year is ranked 15th in the country, which in the wake of the scandal is absolutely remarkable. So we are going through a healing process. I think we're getting there, but it's going to take a couple years to get to where we want to be.
Ian, a wrongful death lawsuit against the school by Patrick Dennehy's stepfather was actually thrown out of court this week. Is the university concerned with the prospect of any future lawsuits through all this?
You know, I think we were getting beyond the worst of it. A judge did dismiss the Patrick Dennehy Sr. lawsuit this week, which we were encouraged by. And you know, again, this is one more step, having the internal investigation completed. We expect the NCAA to adjudicate this case sometime towards the end of the summer, and I think that'll be the final chapter in this case.
Are you still in contact with Coach Bliss? Have you talked to him recently?
No, I actually have never met him or been in contact with him. Certainly the legal team investigating this case has been in regular contact with him, including as recently as this week in bringing the internal case to closure.
I know it's been a very difficult time for you and the entire university. Good luck as you try to get things back on track. We appreciate you joining us this morning.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now for more on the scandals in college sports. Let's go over to Thea.
Thanks, Jay. What can a school do when scandal strikes? From Kansas City, Missouri, the Associate Executive Director for the National Association of Basketball Coaches, Reggie Minton, and in the studio, the Executive Vice President and General Manager of Sport and Entertainment Marketing for the Eldman Public Relations and an expert in crisis management, Peter Land. Good morning to both you gentlemen.
Thanks for having me.
Peter, I'm going to start with you. Good morning, Reggie. What can these schools do to control the damage?
Well, I think the first thing you have to do in any situation like this is assess the damage, what is the problem, and then look for that fix. And I think what some of these schools are doing is exactly the right thing also, is finding independent outside counsel to come in and say, we need to take a look at all the things that are happening within the university, identify where the problem areas are, and start to fix them.
They have done that, so how would you say they're doing so far? How would you rate their handling of the crisis?
I think they're all probably a little bit different. It seems like Baylor is starting to do a pretty nice job. It looks like the word integrity kind of keeps creeping into interviews and things that we've seen in the television and newspaper, and they've taken some action. And at the end of the day, what's the most important thing is accountability, and really mostly accountability from the top. People take their direction from leadership, so the leadership at the universities need to say this won't be tolerated, and that's really where people take their direction.
And part of that leadership, of course, is the coach. Reggie, what's the hardest thing for a coach coming to a program that's been through a scandal like this?
Well, first and foremost, you must determine, what the problems were and what did the previous staff do. The rules are pretty clear and plain. I think Baylor has taken the right step in the sense that they found a coach who's of high integrity and character, and I agree. The leadership begins at the top, and they set the tone and the method as the way the program will operate.
If we break down each school here, who do you think has the toughest road to forgiveness?
Well, having coached for many years, I think each program, you have to look at it and you have to know all the things that are going on within it. But, Baylor obviously got the most notoriety, and unfortunately, there were other things going on probably, but I would say that Baylor, off the top of my head, probably had the toughest road to hoe.
Peter, who do you think will have the easiest?
Well, of the three, I guess it would be St. Bonaventure. I think the Colorado and Baylor, you have some very serious allegations by, what happened on campus, and it seemed to be a little bit more pervasive. And in each case, really there was wrongdoing found at the coach level. So all three of them have a hard road, but I think St. Bonaventure of the three probably is the least serious of the three allegations, so maybe we'll have the easiest road back.
Now, Reggie, who do you think carries the blame in these situations, the coach or the players?
Well, first and foremost, there in the NCAA, you have a lack of institutional control. That's one of the findings that they can make. In our organization, we are talking about that type of approach as far as programs are concerned. Obviously, whoever's in charge have the responsibility of what goes on. We have to be realistic, though, that they're not going to know everything that goes on, but nonetheless, they're going to have to make every effort and make sure that their staff and the young people in their charge know what they expect and exactly what they're going to tolerate and what they're not going to tolerate.
Peter, what advice would you give a school like St. John's or Colorado that is looking to clear its reputation?
Well, part of it has to be some type of a zero tolerance policy, very strict guidelines, so that there's no question that if there is wrongdoing, immediate punishment, there will be accountability. So that's really the most important thing, strict guidelines, accountability, and I think with that, will come some change, because it's so important. Parents are sending their kids off to these schools, and they're expecting, coaches, athletic directors to kind of play that role of shepherd, and if that can't happen at a school for some reason, it's going to be really hurtful down the road.
Reggie, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I agree. I think you are expected to be the mentor, the surrogate father, or a lot of things when you go in and recruit a young person. And so the coach should be held accountable for what goes on.
Reggie, thanks very much for joining us this morning, and to you as well, Peter.
Thank you.
On Thursday, Baylor President Robert Sloan extended the self-imposed probation against the school's basketball program until August of 2006. The murder trial of ex-Baylor player Carlton Dotson is scheduled to begin in March. It's now time for our first check of the news on this Friday, and with that, here's Leslie Maxey.
Thanks, Thea. Good morning, everyone. Here's what's happening right now. John Kerry and John Edwards, but neither likes the way President Bush is handling the issue. Kerry and Edwards squared off in a debate in Los Angeles in advance of the Super Tuesday primaries. Al Sharpton and Dennis Kucinich also joined in. Both Kerry and Edwards said they believe the federal government should let states handle the marriage issue. Baltimore Ravens running back Jamal Lewis pleaded not guilty on Thursday to charges that he tried to buy cocaine in June of 2000, a month before he signed a $35.3 million contract. After turning himself in Thursday, Lewis was released on a $500,000 bond. Afterwards, Lewis stood outside the courthouse surrounded by his attorneys, proclaiming his innocence.
I just want to say it's extremely important to me that my family, my friends, my fans, and the Ravens organization know that I am innocent, and I thank everyone for their continued support.
If convicted, Lewis could get 10 years to life in prison. San Francisco wide receiver Terrell Owens will not be an unrestricted free agent after all. The NFL informed the 49ers Thursday that Owens would not be on the list of free agents. Owens and his agent, David Joseph, missed the deadline to file paperwork to void the final 3 years of his contract. As a result, the four-time Pro Bowl selection remains under contract through 2006. The 49ers will now probably trade him. However, Owens' agent says he will file a grievance. Well, the fly ball touched by Steve Bartman during Game 6 of the National League Championship Series last October was blown up Thursday night in Chicago by a special effects person. The ball came to symbolize the Chicago Cubs' cursed history. The destruction ceremony was orchestrated by Harry Caray's restaurant group. The group bought the ball at auction for nearly $100. A lawyer who managed to snatch the ball after it bounced off of Bartman's cursed hands. Those are the headlines. Now, let's go back to Thea.
Thanks, Leslie. Coming up, all that's missing is a lion tamer and a trapeze artist. We're going to clown around with the Yankees Circus. That's next on Cold Pizza.
Cold Pizza, brought to you by Residence Inn by Marriott. All suites with all the comforts. And Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world.
Of Big George's All-Star Pinstripe.
Count to 5 for me, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
That's great.
On the table.
Ready. .
Yeah, 20 years ago, New York Yankees third baseman Greg Nettles said, when I was a little boy, I wanted to grow up and be a baseball player and join the circus. With the Yankees, I've accomplished both. But after the crazy days of the 70s, things in the Bronx Zoo returned to normal somewhat. But in true 70s retro fashion, it's hip to be crazy again with the New York Yankees. And with spring training less than a week old now, the madness is back. From Bernie Williams' appendectomy to the war of words with the Red Sox, it appears that the circus is back in town.
Welcome to the 2004 edition of Big George's All-Star Pinstripe Carnival. Monday morning, the New York Post proclaimed Frost Alert about the relationship between A-Rod and Derek Jeter, with the Yankees' new third baseman claiming cool towards him.
I wish you guys would let them alone.
That started a whirlwind of Yankee drama.
And just let them play.
Jason Giambi showed up skinny but claimed he lost only 4 pounds.
I wish you guys would let them alone.
Gary Sheffield said he'd take a steroid test, then said he wouldn't, then said he would again, only to be told he couldn't.
You're making too much of it.
The boss called his rival John Henry a scarecrow and talked extension for Joe Torre.
I wish you guys would let them alone.
John Lieber went down with a groin injury, then Bernie Williams went bust and may miss the season opener.
You're making too much of it.
And to cap it off, the man who started this circus by hurting his knee playing hoops, freeing up a spot for A-Rod, Aaron Boone, was released on Thursday.
Oh, yeah, it is crazy with the Yankees again. Now, we really want to get to the bottom of this, so we decided we'd bring in 2 experts. From Tampa, the Yankee beat writer for the Hartford Courant, Don Amore. Don, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jay. How are you?
Pretty good. And right here, a Hall of Famer himself, the International Clown Hall of Fame, gives us, from the Big Apple Circus, Grandma the Clown. Grandma, how are you this morning?
Very good. How are you? Nice to see you.
Doing okay, doing okay. Grandma, what's bigger right now under the big top? Would it be your circus, or would it be the New York Yankees?
Big Apple Circus, New York Yankees. Huge, gigantic. The only difference with us, we actually play Jersey. That's the only difference.
Yeah, they don't play Jersey. George Steinbrenner, ringmaster or clown? What's going on with this guy?
George, I love the guy.
Yeah.
I love the guy. He's right in the middle of everything. By the way, this is delicious.
How are you getting that to stick
This
to
is
your
Yankee
tongue?
popcorn. Okay.
You
Can't
missed.
always win. George is the best. I mean, he mixes it up. By the way, I had nothing to do with the Bernie Williams appendectomy.
No.
The Aaron Boone pickup game, I will take credit for, but nothing else.
All right, well, Don, let's compare the Yankee circus to previous seasons. I know that back in the 70s, things were very, very crazy, and then they sort of settled down a little bit, but it seems like everything is crazy again with the Yanks. Would you say that?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably in some ways bigger than it was in the 70s. You know, there wasn't talk radio in the 70s, and I don't think, you know, any sports team generated the kind of coverage that the Yankees do now. So it's probably bigger, although you probably don't have the kind of stories that you had in the 70s because the personalities then, you know, were a little bit more colorful. You know, you saw the quote by Greg Nettles, and you had Reggie Jackson in that mix, and George was a lot younger than he is now. So it was maybe a little bit crazier in the 70s, but I think it's bigger now.
And certainly not to forget Billy Martin. He was always fun to cover. Let me ask you this. I mean, I know some baseball writers, you know, if you're stuck covering the Kansas City Royals, there's not a lot that goes on there. Are your writer friends from other major league cities jealous of the stories that you get to cover?
I don't think so. You know, the smart ones kind of run the other way when people talk about covering the Yankees. You know, I think if you cover, you know, you're lucky to get out in time for dinner. You know, and days that start as early as this one does. It's you know, you have a team with an inexhaustible ability to generate news. You have a group of writers, and I take myself out of the equation. You have a group of writers who are among the best in the business, relentless and enterprising, and you have a fan, an insatiable appetite for news about the team. You put those 3 things together, and you just have a 24/7 newsreel, or a circus, if I'm going to stick with the theme.
Grandma, if A-Rod gets hurt, do you play any third base?
I'm going to play center field until Bernie gets back. I got the call last night. It was either go to the Spurs to replace Duncan for a week, or I'm a Yankee fan. I'm going to Tampa. Don, I'm coming, Don. Is that a wig Don's wearing?
No, of course not. That's your job, isn't it?
Ow.
Another miss. You definitely can't play
workman's
third base.
compensation? Do you have workman's comp here?
We do, yes, but be careful. Dom, who has more cameras aimed at them this spring training? Would it be A-Rod or Matsui? Because I know last year the press around Matsui was insane.
Yeah, it was. You never thought you could top what you saw last year with Matsui. I mean, it was. There were just hundreds and hundreds of reporters from all over the world trained on him. I think this year there are actually a few more. I think the media count was 180 for Matsui at the opener last year. The first workout is about 200 this year. So there's probably more cameras right now trained on A-Rod.
It's amazing. They're there to cover baseball practice. What effect will the circus atmosphere have once the season gets going on a daily basis? Are they going to be able to block all of this out?
Well, I think George Steinbrenner has made one very, very good observation that Joe Torre is probably the only guy with the stature to keep this under control. You know, because of his personality, his track record, what he's accomplished. He's probably the indispensable man in this equation. You know, I've always wanted to be a sports writer and join the circus, and now I've been able to do both.
The Greg Nettles of sports journalism, I guess, right, Dom?
Right, exactly.
Dog at the ballpark, cotton candy at the
Has Matsui been on this show yet?
You know, we haven't had him on, no.
I've done it before, Matsui.
Oh,
I've
really?
done it, yeah.
Yeah, you
I'm
have.
here.
That's exactly right.
I first transvestite on the show, correct? Is this true?
I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not.
Right, you don't
it
check
could
IDs.
Be. We're a family show. We don't check
So
IDs.
is your Big Apple Circus.
How are you getting that to stick to your tongue?
It's Yankee popcorn, provided directly back. Oh, I could have hurt somebody.
Yeah,
Are you okay back there?
Well, I don't know if the circus atmosphere is going to calm down with the Yankees or not. We certainly hope it doesn't, because it's always fun to talk about things that George Steinbrenner and the Pinstripes give us throughout the year.
True,
do you
Jay.
go to Yankees games?
Yeah, are they still playing at Yankee Stadium, by the way?
Last I heard,
cool.
Yeah. Do you go in garb there, or are you going street
No,
clothes?
it would be a problem in the Bronx, frankly.
Yeah, I think it would. I think it would be a
Brooklyn,
problem.
same, but, you know, no.
Well, Dom, just be fortunate that you weren't in studio to get to witness this. There were a lot of things going on here that you didn't get to see.
I'm coming down, Don. I'm coming down for you, Don. This is a challenge for you, okay? Wear a wig.
Thanks for coming on this morning, okay?
Anytime, guys.
Very good sport. And Grandma, very nice.
He actually knows what he's talking about. That bothers me.
He's smart. He's
What's
a smart
that
guy.
about?
He's a smart guy.
So do you, Jay.
I fake it.
You're from Jersey, right?
No, I'm not from Jersey. I live there, though. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. The Big Top gets underway on March 4th when the Yankees play the Phillies. Then the traveling show opens the regular season in Tokyo, Japan, by the way, on March 30th when they take on the Tampa Bay Devil Rays there. And Grandma will be there. Now let's go over to Thea. Thea?
He's not faking it, Grandma. Those of you who are planning your Oscar pool picks, the question is, will the little hobbits outrun the racehorse and take home the top prize? We're going to find out Sunday night when the 76th Annual Academy Awards are handed out. But right now, in the lobby of the Hotel New Yorker, finishing their breakfast and swapping their Oscar picks, are Peter Bonventry of Entertainment Weekly and former Yo MTV Raps host, Dr. Dre. Guys, how's your breakfast going?
But I'm going to tell you something right now. Sean Penn's best performance was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Right.
It was Jeff Spicoli.
Right.
Bill Murray, to me, it was Stripes all the way.
Or Caddyshack. Caddyshack should have got one for that.
Well, that was a supporting role. That wasn't really Bill's
So you're going with
first starring role. I'm going with Stripes, and I'm going with Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
You're going
That's
with
just
Sean
my
Penn,
look.
right?
Of course, you got to go with Jeff Spicoli.
You got to go with
this is a guy that pretty much never graduated from high school. We never quite saw him get out of Mr. Hand's class.
Right.
We only saw he and Mr. Hand argue and even go to the dance with the whole
Well, let me tell you something. Hey.
Hey, no, mate. Hey, nice to meet you. What's up, brother? Good to see you.
Yeah, but you know what can happen, Dre? This happens. Penn and Murray cancel each other out. They split the vote. Who goes in? I say Johnny Depp.
Of course, Johnny Depp. He was on 21 Jump Street. That was a great show.
That's a great show. But you
That was
know,
a great show. They should have made a movie to that one, though.
very rarely does an over-the-top comedic performance get it. But, you know, Lee Marvin, Cat Ballou got it 65. Anyway, let's go to Best Supporting Actor. Who do we
let's
like?
go there. Who do we like? Best supporting? I gotta go with Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins.
You got Mystic Pizza. I mean, Mr. Goodman. It's a great movie right there. I mean, if you sit through that, you gotta have popcorn and you gotta have pizza. Something to go along
A
with that
wonderful,
movie.
spooky, complex performance. It was just great. What do we have next? We have Best Actress next.
Oh,
right?
that's a confusing category. I didn't see any of those actresses in any of those movies. That was just, I couldn't go with
Charlize
any of those.
Theron, can she possibly lose?
In Monster, I didn't even know that was Charlize Theron.
I know,
so I
isn't
don't
it
count
a beautiful woman like that goes ugly. And when gives a performance that they just never expect.
Could you believe that she actually shaved the eyebrows for that?
She was an amazing performance, and it wasn't just the transformation. It was a great job. Let's give her credit.
Okay.
What about supporting actress? Who do we like?
Oh, and supporting actors. Let's see. Let's see. I'm telling you, I think Tim Robbins is going to get it.
Well, no, let's throw actress. Supporting actress.
Well, you said Charlize Theron with Monster. Like I said,
no, that's actress. Supporting actress. Zellweger is
in Cold Mountain. She's going to get it. She's going to get it easily because she's got the other movie coming out.
Right. Well,
the Bridget Jones
she's
movie.
gotten this her third Oscar nomination in a row. A very, very rare feat. You know, I'm watching her. I'm thinking of the Beverly Hillbillies.
Really?
You know, and let me tell you something else about this category. Full of surprises. Seems to always happen. Remember, I think Marissa Tomei, 1992, beat 4 great British actresses. Came out of nowhere. If Zellweger stumbles, look for Shura Aghdashloo from House of Sand and Fog. She was fantastic. A profoundly moving performance. It was just great.
I don't know. I think Zellweger should take it for Jerry Maguire. She's going an Oscar back for Jerry Maguire. So she might get this one just based on the fact that they forgot her for Jerry Maguire.
What about Best Director?
Oh, that's simple and plain. Very easily. That's Lord of the Rings. That's Peter Jackson. All the way through.
I agree.
Best movie of the year.
Can't lose. Unfortunately, Clint Eastwood in a year has got to go up against Jackson. A marvelous job directing on Mystic River.
But Clint Eastwood is Dirty Harry. You expect him to, every once in a while.
I mean, when a director guides 3 people to Oscar nominations, and any other year he gets it. Not this year. I agree. Peter Jackson, which gets us to the best movie of the year, right?
Of course, you got to go with the same guy who directed it. You got to go with Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Return of the King. Great movie.
Can't possibly
great
lose,
detail,
right?
Great epic story for all 3 movies. It culminates on Oscar night. They get to pick up the statues and go home.
I got to tell you, Mystic River, you know, I mean, these little hobbits with their hairy feet and Gollum.
That was great.
Oh,
that was
God,
great.
I wanted to, you know, if I were Frodo, I'd say, take the ring, let's have a cocktail.
Look, Frodo got the ring over into the pit. He got rid of Gollum. Peter Jackson walks away with the big ring.
Hey, listen,
Oscar.
if just the thousands of people who worked on these 3 movies vote for it, it'll win in a landslide. By the way, first fantasy epic to win, if it happens.
And that would be good. That would be good.
Now, look, one more. Can't let you go.
Go ahead.
Best song.
Oh, that's very
You're
easy.
the man.
That's very easy. You know who that is? That's got to Michael McKean.
No.
You know why? Because I was a big fan of Laverne and Shirley.
Right.
And that's Lenny, the Lone Wolf. And the Lone Wolf definitely needs to win the best song.
Well, I think there's 2 songs from Cold Mountain. Sting's You Will Be My Ain, True Love, and Elvis Costello's
But Sting got
Scarlet
Grammys.
Tide.
Sting has Grammys. Elvis Costello has Grammys. This has got to go
Let me tell you who's
to
going to
Michael
win.
McKean.
Into the West.
You think so?
Into the West. Annie Lennox.
I'm going to stick with the Lone Wolf. I know now, Annie Lennox.
I don't mean to interrupt, guys. This right here, Dr. Dre.
Hey,
This is not Dr. J. This is not Dr. Jekyll, and this is not Dr. Glad I'm not sick from the movie. Spies like us loved Austin Milbard. Guys, I'll see you guys later.
All right.
It is your sideline report right now, and it is why am I dressing this? Because WrestleMania 20, March 14th, right across the street at Madison Square Garden. I am inspired. The founder, Roddy Piper. I believe he is the man who founded, who made the WWE what it is today. I know my colleague Michael Sauce Mariano, his second appearance here on the sideline in 1 week, believes it is someone different.
I believe the man who made WrestleMania, Mick Foley.
Oh, yes, he does. It was not Hillbilly Jim. It was not Kamala or Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, or even Little Tokyo, who was there with King Kong Bundy, but one man who might think something different, the author of a new book, Mankind, may I have it? Thank you, sir. Sex, Lies, and Headlocks, not videotapes. ESPN senior writer Sean Assail. Sean, who do you think is the founder and really the brains behind the WWE?
I have to say it's Vince McMahon, Zach.
All right, and why? What has Vince McMahon done to make the WWE so successful?
You know, at a time when everybody thought that wrestling was real, when it was full of guys like Ric Flair and Bruno Sammartino, Vince wasn't afraid to make a cartoon. He wasn't afraid to say, you know what, it's not real, it's fun. And it just went from there.
You don't believe that Dino Bravo had anything to do with it?
Well, I'm going to give Dino his props, but I think you got to give Hulk Hogan his props too.
Okay, well, obviously Vince McMahon, obviously Vince McMahon thinks that there's obviously a lot of scandal involved. How has Vince McMahon overcome the scandals to make the WWE, again, what it is today?
by taking a business that nobody takes seriously, darn seriously. You know, there was a time where Ted Turner went after him. Vince just was willing to slum and go as low as he needed to go to beat Ted Turner. He put women wrestling in cottage cheese. He made his wrestlers do death-defying stunts that, you know what, sometimes they didn't always defy. And when the government came after him, he stood up to the government and he beat them too.
Well, we love cottage cheese here, and we also love wrestling. Shauna Sale, thank you very much. Grandma, you're going down, Grandma the Clown. Roddy's going to take you. You like my legs, by the way, Sean? Thank you. College Hoops is coming up next. Make sure you read Sex, Lies, and Headlocks. Also read Grapes of Wrath, because 102 years ago today, John Steinbeck was born. We loved My Joe, didn't we?
Well, we loved him. We loved him.
We loved him. We'll be back after this. Lenny Robbins with College Hoops, Stanford, St. Joe, and so much after this. The Piper's Pit.
One, two, three, four, five, six. Hey, how you doing today?
Hernandez dribbles to the right wing, throws to Robinson to the free throw line. Nick puts it on the floor, takes her to the left base, feeds Childress, who lays it in. Good cut by Childress. Hernandez dribbles to the right wing, throws to Robinson to the free throw line. Nick puts it on the floor, takes her to the left base, feeds Childress, who lays it in. Good cut by Childress.
Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, 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 check.
Hernandez dribbles to the right wing, throws to Robinson to the free throw line. Nick puts it on the floor, takes her to the left base, feeds Childress, who lays it in. Good cut by Childress.
You gotta love the hair. That was from #1 Stanford 73-47 win over Oregon State Thursday night. Stanford rolls on. Stanford, along with St. Joe's, remain the nation's only 2 unbeaten teams and have both locked up spots in the NCAA tournament. But several teams are not as secure right now. Looking ahead to Selection Sunday for some of this year's bubble teams, our college basketball analyst, a clown in his own right, Len Robbins. Good morning,
Len.
Len.
Jay. It's nice to be here with the juggler.
Look at the look at the dueling ties we have going today, the orange and the green.
I got to be honest, Jay. I like my tie better, but I love that shirt. I think I did my bathroom in that shirt.
In the 70s.
Yes.
I'll give it to you when I'm finished with it, which will be in about 2 hours. 2 unbeaten teams left. Let's start with St. Joe's. They're at Rhode Island. Is this, I look at the Rams as a team that could possibly do something, but what do they need to do to pull the upset?
Well, I'll tell you what, they did a lot of good things when they lost to St. Joseph's earlier this year, out-rebounded them by 22. This is a, okay, the last time that these two teams played, Delonte West going in for a layup, Dustin Halenga, a little push. They wanted to do the Bronx two-step, okay, right? Had to be separated. Look, that place is going to be nuts up there. It's going to be packed wall to wall. Jim Barron's going to have these guys ready. I'd be very nervous if I was the Hawk.
Ooh, you heard it here first. Stanford hosts Oregon. That should be a slam dunk.
You know, it should be a slam. This is how good things are going for Stanford the other night, okay? They won by about 40 points Josh Childress, Mr. Big Hair, who we saw before.
Oh, yeah.
Banked in a 3 from the corner. Called glass, I understand.
From the corner?
From the corner, yes, okay?
Oh,
that's when you know
insane.
it's a magical season.
Bids come out in 2 weeks. The seeds, at least the top seeds, it's easy to figure some of those out. But when you look at the mid-majors this year, it seems like every year there are teams that you would expect might be 8, 9, 10 seeds from mid-majors, and they always get bounced down to 14s and 15s. How do you think they'll fare this year?
Well, to me, this is the year of the mid-major. And I'll tell the selection committee this right now, okay? Let's forget the seedings for a second. If Manhattan doesn't win its league and doesn't get in, if Utah State doesn't win its league and doesn't get in, okay, teams like that, the selection committee should lock itself in a room for 24 hours and listen to Oscar acceptance speeches, okay, with no commercial interruption, okay? I'd like to thank my agent. I'd like to thank God. I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank my agent. I'd like to thank God.
On and on and on.
Over and over and over again until they come out and bang their head against the wall.
Yeah, there really are. So every year it happens. There are teams, Mid-American Conference, a team that has a great record doesn't win the tournament, they don't get in, and you can't. And then 6 or 7 teams from the Big Ten get in a year where it's not so strong. Maryland, 5-8 in league play this year. I can't figure out what's going on. They play Wake Forest. What's going on with Gary Williams' club?
Hey, you know what? It's a young team. Let's remember, 2 years ago they win the NCAA championship. Carolina, it's not Duke. They don't reload every year. They have to rebuild. Hey, they've got some real quality wins this year. They've beaten Wisconsin. They've won at Florida. They've got 3 games left. If they win 2 out of those last 3, get a couple more. Let's remember, they played the 5th toughest schedule in the country. Maryland deserves to be in if they can get to 17, 18 wins.
Yeah. Vanderbilt is a bubble team from the Southeastern Conference, and they've got a tough one. They play Mississippi State. Boy, big surprise team this year. Very, very solid. If Vandy wins, does that get them into the tournament?
They're in for two reasons. One, it's a great win over Mississippi State. 2, Vandy leads the SEC in grade point average. You want those guys on the stand. You know, when they refer to the student athletes, these guys are going to give great answers about how they love going to school and their players in their spare time. NCAA wants them in.
Illinois, nice turnaround for them. They've done a great job. Maybe the best team in the Big Ten. I don't know what that says exactly this year, but they certainly have done a good job. What's been the difference for the Illini?
First of all, can we please get through a segment without talking about the Big Ten for crying out loud?
No.
I know your roots. I know how important it is. Look, you know, this is sort of like they have a new coach in Bruce Weber, okay? So they didn't do as well as they thought they would do early in the year, and people said, what's wrong? It's like a carpool when you get a new driver. He goes a different route. It's not necessarily the wrong route. It's a different route.
Right.
Took time. Illinois got used to it. Dee Brown's a great player. They're going to be a tough out.
This weekend, this will be big doings. Indiana State will celebrate their 25th anniversary, the run of their Final Four. They're going to retire Larry Bird's number. That'll be a nice little ceremony. Where does Larry Bird fit in all time with the greats in college basketball?
First of all, what took Indiana State so long? I mean, I would have retired his jersey the day that he left, okay? I mean,
while he was playing.
Take it off, son. I think that players of all time who had maybe the best season in terms of what he did for his team.
Yeah, and where has Indiana State been since? You're right. What took them 25 years? You broke a story this morning in the paper. St. John's got a short list now for their next head coach. Who are some of the names on it?
They got a short list. You and me are the only ones not on it. Okay, all right.
How
Look,
short
right
is
now,
it?
Paul Hewitt, Georgia Tech, Tim Welsh at Providence. These are great guys, upstanding guys. You know, personable, young. Their teams play exciting styles. St. John's would be very, very well off to get either one of those guys.
Very good. All right, Len, go home, lock yourself in a room, watch every single play of every single game this weekend, and come back and talk about it on Monday.
I want to thank God, my country, the Academy.
And your agent. All right, coming up, cool cars. You can't get enough of that. This week's edition of On the Road is on deck. You're watching Cold Pizza, the morning show with everything.
A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on On the Road is brought to you by Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Sports utility vehicles and luxury cars were once on opposite ends of the automobile spectrum, but no longer. Because their X5 was so popular, BMW has now launched another SUV. This one's called the X3, and it features the same combination of luxury and function that made the X5 so popular. Steve Antoon has a report.
Move over, Lexus RX 330, and watch out, Jeep Grand Cherokee. There's a new player in the medium-sized premium SUV market, a hot little number from BMW called X3.
At first glance, this may look like a BMW X5, but take a closer look because it's a brand new, more affordable SUV from BMW called the X3.
Road Trip's test crew punished the 2004 BMW X3 on and off-road along Europe's Mediterranean coast. Created for buyers who want a sports sedan-like driving experience on-road, combined with capable light-duty off-road abilities, all at an affordable price, the X3 impresses in all departments.
Although the X3 is not designed as a boony-whomping 4x4, its sophisticated X-Drive all-wheel drive system is very impressive when the going gets slippery.
The X-Drive system continually and automatically directs the drivetrain's output between the front and rear axles depending on available traction. X-Drive precisely adjusts the torque split every 100 milliseconds as you drive, effectively anticipating and correcting for understeer or oversteer before they occur. The result is an incredibly glued-to-the-road feeling that makes fast cornering as flat and confident as any sports sedans. BMW X5 is called Hill Descent Control. Just push a button and the X3 crawls down the steepest slopes at walking speeds without you having to ride the brakes.
Park the new X3 next to its big brother, the X5, and you're going to see a lot of similarities. The wheelbase is identical in length, but the X5 is a little taller and a little wider.
Inside, the X3 delivers crisp, contemporary styling, plenty of head and legroom for 5 passengers, and good-sized cargo space behind the second row seat. Or fold the seats down completely and have the room to carry 3 mountain bikes. The well-equipped X3 also offers an abundant list of options, like a DVD-based navigation system. And if you'd like to let the sun really shine in, order the available panorama sunroof, and nearly the entire overhead area becomes glass. Power comes from BMW's proven 3.0-liter inline-6, available in a 231 horsepower gasoline version or a 204 horse turbo diesel that delivers a whopping 306 pound-feet of torque. Either engine has the guts to move you 0 to 60 in under 8 seconds, while the diesel returns an outstanding 28 miles per gallon on the highway. During our road trip with this new BMW SUV, we found a lot to like about the X5's little brother, which really isn't so little after all. In fact, it's big on performance, handling, safety, and value.
The BMW X3 hits showrooms at a price under $31 grand. And that's my cold pizza road test for this week. Back to you guys.
The X3 is available now, and we're going to have another edition of On the Road next Friday. Coming up, we're going to talk to 2 of the top gymnasts in the world, twin brothers Paul and Morgan Hamm. Our Olympic preview series, Pizza.
On the Road is brought to you by Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Oh, so you're going to start later?
Yeah, we've already. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Fred. Yay, Fred. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does my hair look all right? Do I look all right? Yeah, that's good. See this, Kath? One, two, three.
It's time now for our continuing series previewing this summer's Athens Olympics. Our next guests are both favored to win medals this August. Last year at the 2003 World Championships, 20-year-old Paul Hahn became the first American man in history to win the all-round world title, and his twin brother, Morgan, joined him to help the U.S. win a silver medal in the team competition. Here now, Paul and Morgan Hahn. Good morning, you guys. Welcome to New York.
Thank you.
I should say to the viewers at home, I've been looking at you really closely as we were talking over the commercial break, and you do look a little bit different.
Yes.
You're not totally identical.
No.
But you both distinguished yourselves as gymnasts. Now, Paul, you've had an amazing accomplishment this year.
Mm-hmm.
How are you able to accomplish something that no other American had done?
Sydney Olympics, I realized that I had the ability to all around at the World Championships and upcoming Olympic Games, and since then I just started focusing on that, and it finally became a goal of mine to do that, and finally in 2003 I was able to do what no other American gymnast had done, which was win the all-around medal.
Morgan, what was your reaction to your brother's victory?
I was just shocked. It was so amazing. I mean, I was in the stands, we were cheering USA the whole time. It was so much fun, to see him make history like that was just amazing.
How are you guys different as gymnasts?
I would say that I'm a little bit more conservative in my gymnastics. Paul's kind of the wild man. When he does release, he has 5 releases on high bar, so it's just like when you watch him, it's like, this guy's crazy. But he does it so well and so easily that it's just fun to watch.
Can you explain that? He does fly releases on high bars for those?
He does 5 release skills where he lets go of the bar and catches again. He actually does at one point in the routine 4 skills in a row. Or release four skills releases in a row. It's amazing to watch.
Have you always been the risk taker, Paul?
I guess to some degree. He's also risky as well, but we're different. We're better in different events. Like, he's very, very good on floor exercise.
And how are you guys different in real life?
I would say I'm a little bit more type B personality, more relaxed. He's always telling me to clean up around the house and stuff. I'm like, I'll do it later.
Have you guys ever switched places in a competition?
We've never actually done that. We've thought about it before, though, because if, like, let's say one of us is injured, like, I could compete floor twice and no one would ever know, but we've never actually gone through with it.
People wouldn't be able to tell from your styles?
Some people would. That's probably why we wouldn't do it, but it's something you think about and people ask us a lot.
You guys also switched coaches this year. How come?
Well, like a lot of other countries, they team, and that's one thing that we really wanted to do. And moving to Ohio State, we were able to train with Blaine Wilson and Raj Bazar. They were both 2 of the past World Championship team members. So we had 4 guys now training together from the last World Championship team, and that's just a great training environment. Also, at Ohio State, we were going to have a medical care, and we just thought it would be a really good change for us.
Another big change for you guys this year was you turned 21 and you're out on your own for the first time, living on your own. How do you stick to a disciplined training schedule when you're at an age where a lot of people are, going out and having fun?
Yeah, it's tough, but you look forward to the Olympics and everything associated with that when you're concentrating on gymnastics and this upcoming summer, you really know that you can't be doing some of that stuff, going out all the time, but we still have our fun. We go out and see movies and hang out with friends and stuff.
Aside from winning the gold medal, what are you guys hoping to accomplish at the Olympics? What are you hoping to experience there?
We're just hoping to have a great time with the team. That's, the main focus usually is just the team first, and then you usually worry about the individual stuff later on, and we're just trying to, go out there and go after China, who's the favorite, going into the Olympics. So hopefully we can give them a run for their money.
Well, thanks so much, you guys, and good luck to both of you, and have fun in New York this weekend. Be good.
Thank you.
All right. If Paul Morgan and the U.S. team reach their Olympic goals, it will be a series of historic accomplishments. No American man has ever won the all-round gold medal in gymnastics, and the U.S. men haven't won a team medal at a non-boycotted Olympics since 1932.
Oh, and the door's struggling. You know, Thea, I was very... I'm Zach Leibowitz. It's your halftime report. Guys, go get him.
I'd
USA.
love to see you vault right now.
Go get him. You want to see me vault?
Yeah,
Well,
right
I'm not
over here.
sure. Because we had
Thank
a
you.
serious issue. Jay Crawford, could you come this way? And we'd like to talk, because you actually talked
Serious
to
issue. Am I
a
in trouble?
gymnastics
Nice
member
job, guys.
last
Good luck,
night.
man. Good luck.
But we talked to Grandma the Clown about the Yankee Circus. Let's take a look at that right now. A developing story breaking here at Cold Pizza. Let's take a look.
Big Apple Circus, New York Yankees. Huge, gigantic. The only difference with us, we actually play Jersey.
And there you go.
Jay was mesmerized by his popcorn eating.
Yeah, and he kept throwing it, sticking on his tongue. It was
You're
like
like,
Velcro.
how do you do that?
Developing, we're not sure if it's
easily
buttered
amazed.
or salted. We'll get back to it that
It
a
was
little
both.
later.
I ate some.
It was.
Yeah, it was both.
Guys, can you a little vault? Anything?
No, we'll walk out on our hands.
Okay.
here.
Yeah, can you walk out on your hands,
Yeah.
really?
They
All right,
certainly
that'd be cool.
they certainly look alike. But all right, okay. And there you go.
It's like
These
synchronized
guys
hand
could
walking.
actually be the next coaches of St. John's. That's what Lenny Robbins was talking about. Let's take a look at that right now as these guys
Look at that.
walk on their hands.
Got a short
nice,
list. You and me,
guys.
the only ones not on it. Okay, all right.
How
Look,
short
right
is
now, Paul Hewitt, Georgia Tech, Tim Welsh at Providence. These are great guys, upstanding guys. You know, personable, young. Their teams play exciting styles. St. John's would be very, very well off to get either one of those guys.
Not bad choices. I'm surprised. We heard a lot about Mark Jackson maybe becoming the coach.
Let's go.
but,
That's
you know,
right.
We haven't heard that again.
You don't hear Brian Mahoney's name anymore. Where's Brian Mahoney these days?
Jay just offered to walk on his hands.
No, I didn't offer to
All
walk
right, well,
on my
guys,
hands.
so what's coming up? What's coming up a little later in the show? I know Jim Batsakis is here. Chef Jim, it's fantastic.
Hey, you know Bill Murray's going to be on the show?
He's not in Puxatawny anymore?
Yeah.
No.
Where is he this time? Oh, Hollywood. Hooray for Hollywood, guys.
Yeah, hooray
what else,
for
what else do we have
We're
coming
going to be
up?
talking about the Major Indoor Soccer League.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you need anything else?
How you guys doing? Guys, how are you?
Hello.
What's the morning show with everything, guys? I'm telling
There you go.
we can't train them any better than that.
back
All that
in.
and so much more. Oscar Paninis with Jim. We're going to make them zucchini. You love zucchini.
Love it, Zach.
And my
Love
favorite
it.
is
All the
arugula.
vegetables.
It is a vegetable. That's your halftime report. I'm Zach Leibowitz, and more Called Pizza right after this.
Don't mess me up, babe. Hi, Keith. Hi, Sean.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Good. Thea, how are you?
I'm Thea. I'm going to be interviewing you today.
That's great.
And we're going to be with you real soon.
Sounds great. I look forward to it.
morning again, everyone. Welcome back to Cold Pizza. I'm Fia Andrews here in New York with Jay Crawford. Kit Hoover is off today.
She is off Sunday again.
Yes,
she's
so she's taking a day off. And if you guys didn't see it on Sunday, it is, yes, she's lying in bed right now watching us. Hi, Kitty. It's actually really fun. Did you watch on Sunday?
Yes, it's very cool.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
What did you think of the contestants?
I thought they were a lot better than I anticipated.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody thinks they can be a sportscaster. I think I could do it.
Interesting. I like the Screamer. The Screamer was the best.
He was very funny. Coming up, we'll take a look at the major indoor soccer leagues All-Star Weekend. That's happening this weekend. And Cold Pizza's chef Jim Bitsakis is here, and he has an Oscar party menu. A lot of bread today.
There's a lot of bread over there, lots of carbs, I think. The Oscars are Sunday. We're going to talk to Hollywood resident Bill Murray about his Oscar picks. And by the way, that's Hollywood, Florida. Also on the Academy Award front, our movie guys, Giants and Mighty Toomer and Donnie Jones, and Maxim editor Charles Cox have their own award picks, but that's later. Now it's time to check in with the news, and once again, here's Leslie Maxey.
Thanks, you guys. Good morning again, everyone. Here's another look at what's happening right now. A Baylor University basketball investigation determined Thursday that former basketball coach Dave Bliss made payments to players, allowed NCAA infractions, and then tried to cover them up. The investigation was ordered after former player Patrick Dennehy was found dead in July, and teammate Carlton Dodson was charged with his murder. The report will be sent to the NCAA, which could impose more sanctions in addition to Baylor's self-imposed penalties. Baylor Athletic Director Ian McCaw was on Cold Pizza earlier today. He had some comments and to the basketball program. Dodson is in Waco jail awaiting trial on Dennehy's murder. Verbatim, well, a Greek organizer has reassured trying to keep the world knowing that the Athens Games will be safe. Anti-Olympic and Athena, the names of the Olympic mascots, firebombed 2 government vehicles Thursday. The trucks were set on fire by a cooking gas canister soaked in fuel. The bombings were meant to coincide with important meetings of IOC officials. Well, Mike Tyson has avoided another trip to jail. The former heavyweight champ agreed to plead guilty to disorderly conduct stemming from a brawl with 2 men outside the Brooklyn Hotel last year. Tyson's attorney calls it a fair resolution to the matter. Tyson will perform 100 hours of community service teaching children to box. Once the service is complete, other charges will be dropped. Well, it was rained out Thursday, but the Accenture Mac Play Championship continues today and can be seen following Cold Pizza. Trevor Immelman will be taking on the world #1 Tiger Woods in the second round. Immelman says he is not intimidated. And if you missed the Match Play Championship, you can still catch Tiger on an American Express commercial. Tiger reprises the role of Oscar nominee Bill Murray in a spoof of Caddyshack, which will air during the Oscars. That's the news this morning. Now let's go back to Thea.
Thanks, Leslie. Well, baseball has the home run derby, the NBA has the slam dunk contest and the three-point shootout, the NHL, the Super Seals competition. The Major Indoor Soccer League is the latest pro sports league to make its All-Star Game and All-Star Weekend. Now, fan sessions, a skills challenge, and a Legends game are all on tap this weekend in St. Louis, with the All-Star Game on Sunday. We're pleased to welcome to Cold Pizza the head coach of the U.S. All-Star team, Keith Tozer, and an All-Star defender who plays for the San Diego Shockers, Sean Bowers. Good morning.
Good morning.
Keith, this is the 3rd year of the MISL's full weekend all-star format. How successful have the changes been?
It's been great. I think Steve Ryan, who came from the National Hockey League as our commissioner, has done an unbelievable job to make this a long weekend affair. We have the skills competition, as you talked about, on Saturday, along with the youth competition. And then, of course, the game on Sunday, 1 o'clock, the USA versus International All-Stars, and then a bunch of old-timers we call the Legends will play after that. So it's been a great weekend, and it's going to be very successful here in St. Louis.
Now, the NBA, the NHL, and Major League Baseball all have these multi-day all-star events. How important is a weekend event like this to gain fan interest?
I think it's extremely important. I think this is the way that we sell the product, not only here in St. Louis, as well as in Milwaukee and Cleveland, who had the last 2 All-Star games, but being on national TV, being the exposure that we get through the media, I think it's very important, not only for fan-wise, but for corporate-wise, and I think it's going to be a big boost for us in the coming years, and that's why we have some expansion coming up in the near future.
This year, the fans had an all-star stay for the first time, and you found out last night that they voted you a starter. How have changes like that have created fan interest affected you and other players?
I mean, it's a great change. You know, I've been in this game for like 15 years professionally, and every year the All-Star game gets, better and better, and especially having fans, voting online and you know, a lot of fans coming to these 4-day events. I mean, it's just gotten unbelievable for us, and you know, we look forward to the future and, you know, all the new things for the All-Star game.
Keith, you've coached in the game in each of the past 2 years. How has the weekend format affected the competitiveness of it?
I think it's been great because, you know, normally in an all-star game, there's really not much defense. There's a lot of offensive flair. Guys let players go by and everything. But in our game, the Major Indoor Soccer League, these guys really want to win the game, and especially now since the format's the USA versus the international players. So even though they're the same guys against each other in the league, it's going to be a really, I think, a good defensive duel. But the last couple of times, looking for a good, tough game.
Keith, how do you think events like this, when you see this really tough, these tough games, this tough competitiveness, how does it help secure expansion to the league?
Well, I think, one, it's a great game to sell the sport to people. I think, you know, being on national TV, and of course the fans are in St. Louis and the other cities that this game is now going to go on to, I think they want to see a competitive game, and I think that's what the All-Star game is supposed to be about. You know, it's got to the point where in other sports, well, maybe it's just kind of more of fun fair. You know, let's go out and let's score some points. But I think having all the best players like Sean Bowers here, one of the top defenders in the league, the battle as an all-star player with other all-star players really makes this a unique game and a unique league right now.
Well, Sean, often major athletes opt not to play in these all-star games. They don't want to be in that all-star versus all-star situation. How do you look at this weekend? Is it work or is it pleasure?
It's definitely pleasure. You know, I mean, anytime you step on the field, I mean, it's pleasure for us. And you know, we have a little flavor this year where it's USA versus the best of the world, and I think that adds a little flair, especially in St. Louis, in the heart of America. I mean, you know, and Keith's giving me some digs here, so he's making sure that I stay in the back, I don't go forward, and I play some defense. So I know he's telling me, you know, his 2 cents worth. So, you know, it's something that we have a great time, and you know, leading up to the game, and the game is definitely the biggest event of the 4-day. But you know, I mean, it's a great game, and you know, there's going to be a lot of fans watching. I mean, it's the biggest TV for us in the last, you know, 4 to 10 years, and I mean, we're just excited.
And by the way, we're inviting Thea and Jay to come out for the skills competition on Saturday.
Come on out.
We're invited? You know,
Oh,
I
yeah,
used to play soccer in high school. That was my sport.
All right, good.
But I could try. Jay's good at everything, though, so maybe I'll send him in my spot.
Come on out, Jay.
All right, come on out.
All right, thanks, you guys. Listen, have a great game and enjoy the whole weekend, all right?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
The MISL is expected to announce later today that it will expand the 9-team league next season with a new franchise slated for Chicago. This season, the Baltimore Blast leads the league with the best record. The MISL, resumes its regular season on March the 5th. Coming up, a Bill Murray interview that may get lost in translation. That's next on Cold Pizza.
They always tell me to say hi, and then they're not there. Hey, Bill Murray, is that you?
That's me.
He's saying hi.
Are you? Hi, good morning, Bill Murray. How are you? This is Jay in New York. I'll be interviewing you today. Is that okay?
Hey, that's fine, Jay. I'm doing good.
Are you ready to have fun with this, Bill?
Absolutely.
Very good. How's it? What's the weather like down there in Florida? Let me guess. It's sunny and 70 degrees.
Yeah, that's about right. About 72 and sunshine.
See? Hey, I tell you, I'm coming back in my next life as a weather guy in Florida. It's going to be 75, and then it'll rain, and then it'll be nice again.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Bill, we'll be along with you in just a second, okay?
Okay.
Can you keep a secret? I'm trying to organize a prison break. I'm looking for, like, an accomplice. We'd have to first, then the hotel, then the city, and then the country. Are you in or are you out?
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm gonna pack my stuff.
Get your coat.
See ya.
I hope you've had enough to drink. It's going to take courage. I'm trying to organize a prison break. I'm looking for, like, an accomplice. We'd have to first get out of this bar, then the hotel, then the city, and then the country. Are you in or are you out?
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm gonna pack my stuff.
Get your coat.
See ya.
I hope you've had enough to drink. It's going to take courage.
That was a scene from the Academy Award-nominated film Lost in Translation. Now, we, of course, tried to track down Bill Murray to talk about his Oscar nomination, but our Cold Pizza crew hit a travel snafu. We told them to head to Hollywood and find Bill Murray. Money's no object, just go. But geography not being the strong suit, they went to Hollywood, Florida, instead of Hollywood, California. And although they didn't find the Bill Murray, they were able to track down a Bill Murray.
With the Oscars quickly approaching, Cold Pizza was right on the heels of landing one of the greatest actors of our time. But first, we spoke to the people who claim to know him best.
Bill Murray, the person. Well, Bill's kind of a reserved kind of guy. He's a family man.
Bill's a very intelligent guy. He can act comical. He can be serious. He can basically do it all very well. Man, an actor.
He's definitely not as funny at home as he is at work. I think he puts so much of his energy on the job that when he comes home he needs to unwind and he's a little more serious.
He's a heck of an athlete. So, you know, we're always talking sports, baseball, football, a lot about the Miami Dolphins and the University of Miami Hurricanes.
And after getting absolutely no good information, we decided to play dirty. And later, we dug even deeper at the beach.
I thought he lived in the other Hollywood.
Hot on the trail of Bill Murray, we stumbled across his #1 fan.
Hollywood loves who? I forgot. Hollywood loves Bill Murray. Hollywood loves Bill Murray.
Yeah. Oh, how cute. Now joining us from Hollywood, Florida. He's a 31-year-old civil engineer, the very real Bill Murray. You are the real Bill Murray, aren't you, Bill?
Of course, absolutely, that's me.
When Bill Murray became a household name, how did that change your life?
Well, I was young at the time. I mean, he's been around for, what, 20 years now, so originally it didn't have too much effect on me. Into the high school years, it started to become, you know, somewhat of an issue. You'd introduce yourself, Bill Murray, and, oh, the Bill Murray, the actor? Well, no, but that's okay, same name. Moving on. I'm a golfer. I'm sure I could take him on the golf course. I'd give him probably 7 strokes.
What's your favorite story? I'm sure you've got a lot of stories, you know, being named Bill Murray. Do you have one that sticks out?
Yeah, let's see. Playing in a tennis tournament, I was probably 15 or so. The kid that beat me goes in to report the score, and he says, yeah, I just beat Eddie Murphy. And, you know, that threw him for a loop. They were wondering, he was serious, but...
Have you ever met the real Bill Murray?
I haven't, but I wouldn't mind meeting him. I mean, the guy's been around forever. It's amazing. I would assume back in, you know, high school that he would have just faded away after a couple years, a couple good movies, but he's got some serious longevity, so yeah, I wouldn't mind meeting him.
How big of a fan are you of Bill Murray?
I really do enjoy the comedies. Caddyshack was one of my favorites, and Stripes. I was in the Army for 4 years, so, you know, I had to see Stripes related to that. Other than that, you know, I haven't really seen any of the recent flicks, but I'm definitely a fan of the comedies.
Which Bill Murray role is most similar to you?
Probably Caddyshack. I mean, you know, out on the golf course, hanging out with the buddies. That's probably one of my favorites.
Well, are you ready if you win? Do you have a big speech planned after you win the award?
Oh, if I win the award, you know, I'd probably thank all the little people. The rest of it, you know, I'll keep secret till then. Probably be some shocking moments, though.
Very good. What are you going to do Sunday night while the Oscars are going on?
Well, hanging out with the family, that keeps me pretty busy. Changing diapers, that type of thing.
Well, I think you should rent a tux and at least watch the Oscars in a nice tux. Why don't you do that for us, all right?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. Bill Murray, thanks for being such a good sport. And, by the way, go enjoy that beautiful sunshine in Florida behind you. Will you do that?
How about that? I sure will.
All right. The other Bill Murray will be, of course, attending the 76th Annual Academy Awards. He's nominated for Best Actor. You can see the Academy Awards Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern on ABC. Coming up, well, you don't want to miss this. Playboy model Nancy Ermina will go head-to-head with Thea Andrews. It is the Celebrity Sports Challenge, and it's next on Cold Pizza.
Happens, it's all right.
You know why, don't you?
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Your last name is pronounced Erminia?
It's my middle name, but that's what I go by for Playboy.
Erminia. Okay.
Erminia.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, so can I ask you in the beginning, how you got into doing Playboy and how many covers you've been on? You were picked as one of the
Top
20
20,
top,
yeah.
top 20 in 2003. Would you count to 5, please?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Jay,
Or 1, 2, 3, 4,
do
5?
interviews first and then do the challenge?
Welcome back to Cold Pizza. I'm Zach Lee with it's time for today's Celebrity Sports Challenge, the competition where a member of Team Cold Pizza takes on a celebrity, with the loser forced to face the heat in the trivia quiz that follows. Today, our Thea Andrews meets Playboy model Nancy Ermina. Here's the matchup.
Hot babe on Cold Pizza, cover girl for Playboy lingerie, and the star of her own calendar, Nancy Ermina. And for the home team, cover girl for TV Guide and ESPN the magazine, and her lingerie is nobody's business, Thea Andrews. And this is the Celebrity Sports Challenge.
All right, this is what you call the sports challenge. And Nancy, I have to say, during this challenge, try not to be distracted by that gentleman over there in the suit who's lurking around carrying your picture. He's totally harmless. His name's Jay Crawford. He's just going to be staring at you a lot during the segment. But just try not to have him distract you, okay?
That's Zach with the picture.
Zach's got the picture now. You were chosen as one of Playboy's top 20 models in 2003. How did that come about?
I did a couple covers for them.
How many covers were you on?
2. And I've been in 16 of the issues.
Wow.
And I have 3 more coming out. And we'll see where it takes me.
How is it different to be the cover girl than be just in the issue in a regular spread?
It's...
Do they do something special for you? Do they throw you parties or anything like that?
No, they send you to Chicago. And, you know, it's a whole day of shooting, and it's just nice to see yourself on the cover.
Primping. You've also been in some music videos. Can you tell me what videos you've been in?
The last one was Lenny Kravitz and Puffy, Pharrell, Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. Which one was the most fun?
All of them.
They're all fun?
They're all different. Busta Rhymes.
Is it as much a party as it looks like when we're watching the video at home? Are you guys like really having a good time?
It's like 24 hours of partying and
it's as good as it looks.
Absolutely.
God, I gotta get in one of those videos. Okay, so we're gonna try this game. It's called what's this thing called, Zach? Beyblades. I don't know this game, and you said you didn't know it either, but apparently it's extremely popular. So, Nancy, we're the only two that Okay. And I'll take the blue guy. And fortunately, they've given me the game with very little skill required because you don't know this, but I've been sort of a washout at a number of celebrity challenges. So here we go. Oh, they're banging. I'm dead already. You win. Well, that was easy. Apparently, this is an extremely popular game. Okay, so you get to ask the questions, and I get to try to answer them.
Okay. World War II pinup girl with $1 million legs.
Betty Grable.
Right?
Yes. That's one out of one. Okay, next one.
I have to ask you another one?
Yes.
Okay. Former Playmate of the Year, married to Jimmy Connors.
Former Playmate of the Year. It's not Martina Navratilova. Who else did Jimmy Connors? We're not cheating in the studio or anything like that. I don't know. I can't even guess.
Patty McGuire.
Patty McGuire. Oh yeah, Patty McGuire. Of course. Yeah. Okay. I'm 1 for 2.
Her poster hung up over John Travolta's bed in Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, I just saw this too. I was on the treadmill. Was it Bo Derek?
No, Farrah Fawcett.
Farrah Fawcett. That was my next guess. 2 for 4. One more.
Okay, she wore a fur bikini in 1 million years BC.
Oh, Raquel Welch.
Yes.
3 for. How many of those did you know? Did you know them all?
I only knew one.
Okay, good.
The one I didn't ask you.
So bad. When's your calendar coming out?
My calendar's out.
It's out? Mm-hmm. Okay, so where can we get it?
www.nancy.
Okay, well, thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you.
And doing the Celebrity Challenge with us.
I had a great time.
Coming up, we're going to debut a new weekly segment called The Deal of the Week. We're going to be back with more Cold Pizza after this.
Stand by. Quiet, please. Go ahead. Stand by. Here we go. 5, 4, 3.
I watch Cold Pizza every morning.
Yeah, say your name first. Say your name first. Here we go. Oh, sit on the couch? Okay. Now they want you to sit on the couch normal. And then say your name first, and then say, and I watch Cold Pizza every morning. Okay, stand by. Here we go. Right here. 3, 2.
This is Nancy Armenia, and I watch Cold Pizza every morning.
Okay, Thea. Come on, Nancy.
Can I have more details on that?
John Christopher. Is his name not Jean Christophe? How would he like me? Okay.
Helicopter. Is this garbage?
Hi, Scott.
How you doing?
Oh, I can't hear you guys. Jean Christophe. How do I say?
Jean-Christophe Babin, B-A-B-I-N, Babin.
Jean-Christophe Babin.
Yeah, perfect, you got it.
Thank you.
I think we have an helicopter right now, so it's a little bit noisy.
It's a little bit noisy? Okay, well, be sure you speak loudly because you guys are a little bit faint.
Okay. It will be landed in exactly 20 seconds.
Fabulous.
Deal of the Week is brought to you by Marriott Hotels and Resorts. Going above and beyond. Deal of the Week is brought to you by Marriott Hotels and Resorts. Going above and beyond. It's the Marriott way.
This week we premiere a new feature called Deal of the Week. Every Friday we're going to take a look at the behind-the-scenes deal that's making the business side of sports interesting. Now today's deal is timely. Literally, the Indy Racing League and watch company Tag Heuer have reached an agreement that makes Tag the official timekeeper and scorer of the IRL and the Indianapolis 500. Joining us now from Homestead Miami Speedway, where the IRL will kick off its season this Sunday, the president and CEO of Tag Heuer, Jean-Christophe Babin, and the defending IRL Series champion, Scott Dixon. Good morning.
Good morning.
You guys are looking bright and cheery on this sunny morning.
It's fantastic, great weather.
How did the deal, Jean-Christophe, Tag Heuer and the IRL come to be?
Well, we had been timekeeping in Formula One since 30 years, so we've got a very strong credential as Tag Heuer in that field. And it was here we were discussing with Tony George and the ERL teams, and eventually we got that agreement, as ERL and Indy 500, as you know, are the quickest races in the world, those with the narrowest gaps between the drivers in qualifying and finishing. So for Tag Heuer, it was really the ultimate challenge in terms of timing at the 10,000th of a second. So that's the way we got to it.
How does Tag benefit from the partnership with the IRL from a marketing perspective? Sorry, that was for you, Jean-Christophe.
Ah, sorry.
It's my fault. I'm not calling your name. Did you hear the question?
No.
Okay, I'm going to start again, Jean-Christophe. How does Tag benefit from the relationship with the IRL from a marketing perspective?
Well, it's IRL for us allows to penetrate better the American market, which is the #1 for Tag Heuer, and create a very intimate bond with the American public, who logically is crazy about those races with very exciting finishes, very close gaps. And furthermore, I mean, we do that together with Scott Dixon and with Sarah Fisher. Scott is a defending champion, so the best one. Sarah has been for 3 years the most popular driver of the league. So it's really for us a full package allowing from the 10,000th of a second timekeeping to develop new timepieces, because Tag Heuer's main activity is timepieces. And with Scott and Sarah, together with the timekeeping technology, will not only develop new on their race during the races. So it's a very exciting, full-fledged program designed for timekeeping, for timepieces, but for the American market.
Scott, let me ask you, during a close finish, do drivers wonder about the exactness of the official time?
I think, especially in the IRL, it's very close. You know, we had finishes down to, hundredths of a second, and to have accurate timing, I think definitely helps. And having the history and the great company of Tag, I think joining the series is just giving everybody great recognition. It's a great, I think, group joint sort of venture with both of them that's going to help everybody out in the end. But it definitely helps knowing that when you cross the finish line, if you won, that you won quite definitely, I guess, like, there's no sort of question about it.
Scott, from a strategy perspective, why is it necessary to keep such precise times when you're racing?
Especially with the IRL, I think with it being so close, you're always looking for the smallest amount of time. And if you can get accurate increments of where you're improving or where you're not, that's only going to help you in the long run. And ultimately, it should make you faster.
Do you have Scott, Tag Heuer timepiece?
I do, right here.
What have you got?
I got the micrograph.
The micrograph. Was that a gift?
It's a product we developed thanks to Formula One timekeeping, where we measure time at the 1,000th of a second. So with now IRL and Indy timekeeping at the 10,000th of a second, the challenge of the company of Tag Heuer is to develop a similar timepiece, but at the 10,000th of a second, which you can use on your wrist.
Well, you're about to introduce a special edition Indy 500 wrist chronograph. Can you tell us about that special edition, Jean-Christophe?
Yeah. That special edition has been a celebration edition that we still pays a tribute to the most legendary race on earth, the famous Indy 500 that all drivers and Scott first are dreaming to win one day. And so to pay a tribute to that edition, the Indy 500, we've decided to make a special timepiece which will lead the American market in 1 week from now, featuring not only the Tag Heuer logo, but obviously the Indy Motor Speedway logo.
Well, thanks very much to both of you. Scott, good luck on Sunday, and I hope you're enjoying your new watch.
I definitely am. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. The IRL begins its 2004 season this Sunday with the Toyota Indy 300, and you can see the race on ESPN beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern. Coming up, we're going to show you the food that will make your Oscar party even more special. It's Carbolicious. Grub and Grub is next on Cold Pizza.
Deal of the Week is brought to you by Marriott Hotels and Resorts. Going above and beyond. It's the Marriott way.
Which we've already sliced down.
Jack, you'll be on 3. 1 minute back. That looks weird. No. Count to 5 for me, darling.
5, 4, 3,
Jim,
2,
Jim.
1.
That's what I said.
5.
I don't like that.
And many of the hottest Academy Award parties this Sunday in Hollywood will have the traditional glitzy fare like champagne and caviar, but odds are you're looking for something a little easier for your party at home. And here in the Cold Pizza Studios now to show us how to throw an Oscar panini party is the executive chef of Molivos Restaurant here in New York, Jim Batsakis. Jim?
How you doing?
Glad to see you again.
Good to see you, Jay.
What do you think here? We got the cold
Beautiful.
pizza thing going.
You got
First
it,
of all,
man.
for those that may not know, exactly what is a panini?
A panini is a small Italian sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And a panino is an individual sandwich. Panini is just plural for many sandwiches.
So tell us what we need to make the best panini.
Well, we need a couple of artisanal breads, which we've done here. We've actually selected some breads. A ciabatta, which is just a nice long, almost like an Italian bread. It does also come in smaller areas. That's a great bread. You can cut it on a bias, which is just an angle like we've done here, which makes a nice small sandwich.
You get that at the grocer?
You can get that in an Italian bakery. Or most specialty food stores do have them, and you could just slice them up.
Okay.
Also, this is a whole loaf of bread, just like you. It's more artisanal where it's whole. They call it like a Pullman loaf.
Right.
And then you can cut your own slices here. But what's really great about this is a majority of this is store-bought. So, you know, we have some Italian cured meats here, Supersad. We have some Capogol, which is a pork product, some regular salami, and some prosciutto di Parma, which is from the area of Parma, Italy.
Right.
And then all we've done here is basically made our own vegetables.
Okay, so what do we have there?
We have some zucchini here. We've cut it 2 different ways for 2 different size sandwiches, and a portobello mushrooms, which we ran through a little vinaigrette.
Right.
Just put those on a cookie sheet or a half sheet pan as we have here, which is an industrial term, and we just put that underneath the broiler and let that get a little direct heat.
Okay.
And we get that nice
let's make it.
caramelization
I'm
over top.
hungry.
So we want to make a little sandwich. And it's all about the freshness of the ingredients. I mean, if you notice that, it's nice and thin. The ingredients are nice and thin. They're extremely fresh. Okay, I'm going to use some hot Supersad. I'm a salami man myself. You know,
Very
I
good.
like a little Supersad, nothing wrong with that. A little sweet Supersad
And you can get
on
all this
top.
at your local grocer, right?
You can get this at a local grocer. I like to go to like specialty food shops, you know,
Right.
the Italian food shops, which is really great.
Okay.
And what we'll do here also is we'll put a little bit of basil leaf on top.
Okay.
We'll just cut this one up. And it's custom. You know, what's great about it is it's conversational piece. Your guests can come up, you know, like how many people when they're doing the Oscar parties, they're like, I just want to stay home and just chill out in my, you know, in my pajamas, you know, and not do anything. So I like a little bit of olive oil just to moisten it up a little bit. You notice there's no spread. Always season, a little salt, a little oregano, just a touch of pepper.
And you can put all this out, and your guests, if you have people over, can just make what they want.
They're going to make their own sandwich.
Very nice.
And what's great about it, you know, you get a little break, you get a little commercial. They're over there in the front of the panini press, and they're making their own sandwiches. The whole thing I'm going to say it again. Is
throw it in the grill there?
Throw it right in the press. With the Italian cuisine, it's the simplicity of the ingredients, but it's the freshness of the ingredients. I mean, you could look at these ingredients and see how fresh they are. You know, the basil leaves, no blemishes on the basil leaves. You know, whole beautiful garlic, which you can rub the exterior of the bread after it's grilled or even before. And then we have just all these different charcuterie and meats as Italian cured meats.
Right.
And whatever it is that you really like.
Well, what all do we have here? We have tomatoes and
these are the vegetables that we've done in the cook state. You know, at Mollyville, so obviously you have a grill, so we choose to do a grill, but they'll come out the same way underneath the broiler. What you're looking for is that nice caramelization of the product, which is going to heighten the flavor.
Right.
Some beautiful vine-ripe tomatoes. It's kind of hard to get them in the middle of winter, but we've actually been able to do that.
Right.
You know, and some of the portobello mushrooms. They've also sliced the, you know, the mozzarella cheese for us.
Nice.
Look how thin that is.
Wow.
You know, and they've done all the work for you, which is, you know, I would say to you, 99% of the whole thing with entertaining is, you know, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. They want to see that. How about that?
All right, that's the way to go.
That's the
and
way
this
to eat.
baby's almost ready.
Is it ready?
You
It's
can hear
making
it?
me
You hear
hungry.
it?
Yeah, I hear it.
And what we're going to get
sizzling.
is, you see
wow,
it?
look at that. Yeah, the juices are just coming
It
right
is
out of
hot,
the bread
believe
there.
me, it is hot.
And did you
Okay.
put a little olive oil
I
on
put
top
a
of
little
the bread
olive oil
there?
on top.
Is that a little secret?
That's a little secret.
Yeah,
I like
we
it
let
a
you
little
in
more.
on a little secret
Check
there,
it
huh?
out. You ready? You can hear it.
Nice.
All right. Take a little bit. Want to take a little?
Yes,
take a little
absolutely.
shot?
All we need now is the little party, a little Oscar party.
That's what I think.
There you
a
go,
few more
man.
people around, right?
I'm going to bite into this in the commercial break. Jim, thanks a lot. It smells great. Unbelievable. Throw a party and have some panini. Appreciate it, Jim.
Fantastic.
What smells to Crooked Brook for the apron and jacket, and also Crate and Barrel for the cookware. They helped us out. And remember, another edition of Grog and Grub. We do it every Friday. Coming up, we'll hand out our version of the Oscars, the first annual Pizza Guy Awards. It's coming up next on Cold Pizza, the morning show with paninis.
This is killer. I'm gonna try it.
I think it's time for some more exciting categories like best gratuitous nudity, and of course we couldn't show that here, unfortunately.
Well, I guess that's one of the reasons why we're here, because we get to make the alternative categories. Right. And our winners, they get the pizza guy instead of that gold statue. But is that real gold, or does it have a chocolate in it?
Welcome back to New York, everyone. Forget Best Director and Best Supporting Actress. Our movie team of Maxim Magazine's Charles Cox and New York Giants' Amani Toomer and Tahani Jones have a few categories that they would like to see as part of the Academy Awards. So move over, Oscar. Here comes the pizza guy.
I think it's time for some more exciting categories like best gratuitous nudity, and of course we couldn't show that here, unfortunately.
Well, I guess that's one of the reasons why we're here, because we get to make the alternative categories. Right. And our winners, they get the pizza guy instead of that gold statue. Is that real gold, or does it have a chocolate in it or something?
Yeah, I think it's
like
a foil cover. They got it's not even solid chocolate inside. It's one of those hollow bunnies.
Our pizza guy actually has motor in it. You know, the pizza swings around. We feel that the Academy missed. The first being the best extra. We all know that the extras make the movies.
Those kind of people never get the recognition. Well, let's look at some of the nominees here for best extra.
The nominees for Best Extra are The Goat in Freddy vs. Jason. Lizard Boy in X2.
Artie.
And Jennifer Beals in Runaway Jury.
Law is also meant to serve the people.
We all know that Jennifer Beal is an accomplished actress, but she only had 4 lines in the movie, Runaway Jury, so I had to put her as an extra.
But she's not the winner, though.
She's not the winner. The winner is, can I get a drum roll, please?
We got the drum roll going for you.
The GOAT, Freddy versus Jason. And now let's hear some reaction from the GOAT.
Wow, thanks so much. I'd like to give a shout out to Freddie and Jason and my boys. Good looking out. Thanks to my mom and pop, Savannah GA in the house, and thank you, Cold Pizza.
It's like, wasn't he eviscerated in the movie? He's looking good, man. He's recovered. Ripped apart, you know, guts spilling out anyway.
Next category is best sequel. I mean, there's like 12 sequels or something like that out there.
Year of the sequel.
Yeah,
year of the
tons
sequel,
of
you think so?
But some of them we have to disqualify. The Matrix movies, you know, they're sort of another league. We're disqualifying Return of the King.
Return of the King.
Return of the King.
They just win everything.
Yeah, they got enough awards already. So these
are the people that don't get awards. We're gonna.
Right.
This is the underground awards.
Right.
Well,
there you go.
The nominees for best sequel, of course, Too Fast, Too Furious, Bad Boys 2, X2, and Scary Movie 3.
Ooh, there's a 3 in there. That's mixing it up.
I don't know if that's is that a sequel or is
Yeah.
that a trequel?
It's still a sequel.
I don't
C
know.
doesn't mean
Can I get a drum roll for
all right. Our winner is.
Thank you. And the winner is X2. And you know, of course, I want Hallie to come pick up her award at my house.
All right, we have more awards. Next category is best swag.
Glom.
Swag.
It's called Glom. It's not called swag.
We're calling it swag. So
we're calling it swag today. What's swag?
All right, swag is free stuff that companies give to celebrities at the Oscars because, you know, they don't make enough money already, so they give them all sorts of free stuff because in the hopes that the celebs will be seen using their products.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Well, you guys get lots of free stuff.
Well, act like you don't get free stuff too.
Well, you get free bandages.
You run the best magazine in the world. What's going on here? Don't look at us.
I get free paper. All right. So the nominees for the best swag, we have a lot of them here. We have the Motorola V600 camera phone. This is valued at $350 and plays games, takes pictures, and it's not actually that big. It's inside, so you don't have to try to shove that
look at
huge
that
thing in your
camera.
pocket. Yeah, carry that around with you. So that's worth $350. That's a nice thing to get for free. Our next item we have on display, thank you, Vanna, we have the Victoria's Secret pink lace bra and panty set. Now, Amani, you were trying this on earlier. I have to say you look rather fetching it. We also have, this is nice, bottle of champagne, Le Grand Dame Veuve Clicquot champagne. Nice champagne. Worth $150. That's a nice bottle of champagne.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Yeah.
Fine champagne.
Yeah.
Fine champagne.
So it was really tough to pick. Drum roll. The winner for best swag is the Motorola V600 phone.
That's the one. That's the one I want to get.
Oh my gosh. You know, I need Motorola to send me one special delivery.
And no award ceremony would be complete without a sports moment. We're not talking about Rocky beating the crap out of Apollo Creed. We want something better than that. We want something stronger.
And something from this year.
And something from this year.
all right. So
that's always good too. Okay, there's no nominees in this category. There's only one movie that head and shoulders stood out in front of all of them, and that is every sports scene from Stuck on You.
Nice ball, Walter.
That's good stuff. So those are our award winners for this year. Congratulations, of course.
Yes, congratulations to all our winners. If anyone from the Academy is watching, you may want to consider all of these categories in the next year's show. We'll be right back with more Cold Pizza.
Welcome back to New York City. Try to imagine a mix of Neil Young, Jimi Hendrix, Prince, and Al Green. Pretty good, huh? If you can do all that, you get an idea of the textured sound of the soul of John Black. The band released its self-titled first album last June, and the members of the soul of John Black join us now. They are John Bingham. John, good morning to you. How you doing? Christopher Thomas over there, CT. Nice to see you, Christopher. And Davey back here on percussions. CT, let me start with you. How'd you come up with the name, the soul of John Black?
Actually, that's a name that you can direct, a question you can direct to JB.
Yeah, because of course it's got to be the soul of John Black, right?
Yeah.
Not the soul of Christopher. It's going to be the soul of John Black. After you hear the music, you'll know why. A lot of people remember you from Fishbone. Any similarities between that group and what we have going on now?
Yeah, freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah, you can write whatever you want.
Beautiful. It's all about the freedom, huh?
Yeah, you can write whatever you want as long as it sounds good.
Well, what are we going to play today?
We're going to play Joy.
Joy?
Song. Yeah.
All right.
Nice little number.
I've caught a little bit of it in rehearsal. I think you're going to like it. Here to perform Joy, it's the soul of John Black. Take it away, guys.
Golden siren, my symphony, like an angel serenade me. From LA to New York, Atlanta too, wherever you are, I'm bringing it to you. Oh, joy. Well, you're my heaven. Oh, joy. Well, you're my heaven. In the middle of the night, like a summer breeze, I can feel your vibe moving me. From LA to New York, Atlanta too, wherever you are, baby, I'm bringing it to you. Oh, joy. Can you feel me? Oh, joy. Can you feel me? Oh, joy. You're my heaven. Oh, joy. Well, oh, joy. Well, you're my heaven. Oh, joy. Well, you're my heaven. From LA to New York, Atlanta too, wherever you are, baby, I'm bringing it to you. Oh, LA to New York, Atlanta too. Wherever you are, baby, I'm bringing it to you, yeah, yeah, yeah. LA to New York, Atlanta too, don't you know? Wherever you are, baby, I'm bringing it to you, yeah, yeah, yeah. From LA to New York, Atlanta too, don't you know? Wherever you are, I'm bringing it to you, yeah, yeah, yeah. From LA to New York, Atlanta too, don't you? Wherever you are, baby, I'm bringing it to you, girl. Atlanta too, don't you know? Wherever you are, I'm bringing it to you, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cold Pizza, brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. And Residence Inn by Marriott. All suites with all the comforts.
Well, that's all for this edition of Cold Pizza. Coming up on Monday, we'll catch up with Olympic figure skating gold medalists Jamie Soleil and David Peltier.
And Zach's also going to the Oscars. I'm sure he's looking
Zach's
forward
going to the Oscars?
I really thought it would be Zvi, since he seems to have captured the market on these, but it's Zach. He's going to have a report from Los Angeles after Sunday's Academy Awards.
And we'll have a roundtable discussion examining the intersection of sports and religion, all that. Plus, we'll recap the weekend of college basketball and the latest dreamer to leave dream job. He'll be with us on Monday's Cold Pizza. But to finish up the week, here's more from the soul of John Black to play us out. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Take it away, guys.
Bye. This is our new single, Scandalous number 9.
Ain't it funny what can happen when you ain't around to take it of that one thing that you call so precious. You got some folks who gon' peep, trying to creep up on your good thing. Oh, scandalous. It might be your best friend, but when you catch him sliding in, he gon' say you wasn't at home, left your good thing all alone. She just needed a number 9. I hit the spot every time, and I'm gone. hit a number 9.